This is sick. Put this to music. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard down! And the Blazers! He turned 32 yesterday. Does he have a vintage moment in it? In the end zone. It's over. It's over. Cleveland is a city of champions once again.
Hi, I'm Ben Palmer and welcome to the first ever episode of Zone Coverage live from New York. Each week I'm going to be sharing with you the latest news from the NBA, the NFL and some of the greatest moments in sport. Now, here's what you need to know. My favourite NFL player? Who else? OBJ. The New York Giants wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr. brings the swagger. My favorite NFL team, the San Francisco 49ers. Starring another of my favorites, running back Frank Gore, the team that reached the 2012 Super Bowl is the reason why I love American sports. My favorite NBA player, Ben Simmons of the Philadelphia 76ers. Ben grew up in my hometown of Newcastle, Australia. Next season, we'll see the 76ers reach the NBA Finals thanks to Australian-made talent. My favorite NBA team, the Toronto Raptors. Why? That's a good question. As a kid, my favorite dinosaur was a raptor, and I love Canada. Speaking of NBA, let's talk about the NBA Finals between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Golden State Warriors. My pick is the Cavaliers in 6. Here are the facts. Number 1, the King, LeBron James. This postseason has probably been LeBron's greatest ever postseason he has ever performed in. He's not known for being clutch in the playoffs, but this year he has definitely performed with 31 points, almost 32. He's averaged 8 assists and 7 rebounds a game. LeBron has been chasing the ghost in Chicago for a while, which is obviously Michael Jordan. Me personally, I think he's better than Michael Jordan already. But if he beats the Golden State Warriors with Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, he will be the greatest of all time, and I'm sure a lot of you will agree with that. Number 2, Kevin Love. Over the past few years in the playoffs, he has not performed well. In 2015 in the finals, he got injured, but last year he did not perform well. I'm expecting him to be a big factor in this year's finals because in the playoffs he's performed exceptional. In this year's playoffs, he will have to play well up against one of the best defense in the league. I believe he will play well, knocking down those 3-pointers and being the foil for Kyrie and LeBron. Number 3, I think the Warriors are scarred, not motivated. Last year, the Warriors broke the Chicago Bulls record of 72-10 and got 73-9 wins in a season. But they choked in the playoffs with leading 3-1, but then blew it to LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Steph Curry is not playing as well. Klay Thompson is definitely not playing as well. The only thing they've added to their team since last season was Kevin Durant. And that brings me to point number 4, Kevin Durant. In a recent interview, Kevin Durant said it's not the end of the world if they lose. He's making excuses already because he doesn't truly believe that they will win. He's sacrificed everything, his reputation, his friends, and now he's saying it doesn't matter? He He is Mr. Number 2. Number 2 in the draft, number 2 in college, number 2 in the NBA Finals in 2012, and now he's about to be number 2 because he doesn't truly believe. Now let's talk other sports. Let's start with the NFL. How is it possible that Cam Newton went from number 1 last year to number 44? And how is it that an offensive tackle that I've never heard of is at number 43? And Andrew Luck is number 50? And how is Marcus Mariota number 49? Who is making this list? How is the MVP of last year now suddenly dropped to 44? He's obviously got immense talent and still got the skill set of what he had in his MVP year. It's just he didn't have a greater one this year. How is it that a 13-year-old kid from Australia has more common sense than some of these NFL experts? Now to Major League Baseball. Can someone please tell me why Bryce Harper was suspended for this?
This year and has done a great job. And Hunter Strickland now, here we go. Harper's charging the mound. Oh my goodness. Whoa. Well, Harper hit 2 home runs against Hunter Strickland in the playoffs in 2014. Strickland drilled him with the first pitch, and Harper took it personally, and I don't blame him.
Harper right there. Watch this. He points at him. That's where you as a catcher, you better go and stop.
Why is it okay that a pitcher that got hit 2 home runs 2 years ago is allowed to act like a little baby? When the biggest name in the sport is potentially injured by a pitcher that got his feelings hurt, the league should not be wondering why it is no longer America's sport.
I've never seen anything like this.
It's taking 4 guys, just to 5 guys to control Hunter Strickland right here. One through the bottom, trying to take the legs underneath him. Your own teammates.
And one of those guys is actually going to be the pitcher now, George Contos. Strickland wanted, he's trying to get free from Hunter Pence.
Now before we go, let's take a look at my top 5 moments of the week. At number 5, back on May 4th, Bradley Beal gave us a flop so bad it made Batman vs Superman look like a hit. And then in Game 7 against the Celtics, Beal was at it again. Does this guy want to be in a basketball court or on Broadway? At number 4, the most disgusting thing to ever be shown on live television.
Come on, take that camera, man.
You would not make somebody
Come on, man.
give you a pedicure, would you? With those
That's really your feet?
Yeah, that's my feet.
Really his feet? What's that, Alex?
Wait,
I thought that was Alex. I promise you.
Hey, what is that? Hey, Ernie, did you?
What is that thing where your big toe should be?
At number 3, the king and the dunk that shook the world.
Kicks it off. The King. Oh, he missed the stuff. LeBron James missed the stuff on the outlet from Love. And a foul is called.
Number 2, and the Celtics climb off the floor with a Bradley buzzer beater.
5 seconds remaining. Bradley. Bounces home. 1/10 of a second remaining. So the Boston Celtics, in a major surprise, have defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers here in Cleveland.
And number 1, nobody does it better.
Olynyk with the steal. He has Bradley to James back, and rejects on the chase down. He got him to the angle. Jaylen Brown has just checked in, came up with it. However, a foul is called.
Oh my, what a defensive effort here by LeBron James.
Well, that's it for this week. Don't forget to go look at my Instagram and my Facebook for daily updates. And make sure to catch us next week, right here on Zone Coverage.
This is sick. Put this to music. That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen.
They do have a timeout. Decide not to use it. Curry, way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard down! And the Blazers! He turned 32 yesterday. Does he have a vintage moment in it? In the end zone! It's over! It's